let's talk about patch 9.2.5 properly, because that's just season 4, which we assume is going to be 9.2.5. But for this patch, there's just a bunch of cool shit's being data mined. So, what's going on in Tirisfal Glades? Well, Brill has been reconstructed, which is good. You know, we're finally beginning to undo some of the crazy damage that has been done. That's nice. They've also got an encrypted questline and a new encrypted model for Calia Menethil. Now, this is something that you broke us with in the office earlier today, Matt. Matt had the audacity of saying to me and Jared, hey, did you know Calia Menethil's been in the Shadowlands this whole time? And I'm like, no. But it's like, wait, no, actually, yes, I do know that. But I didn't feel that. Yeah, she's been there. She's done nothing.
Yep, she's just chilling in Orbos doing sweet FA.
Yeah.
And that had me wonder, right, well, you don't bother to put someone there without a plan for them. And they may have had a plan, okay, but you know what I thought with that we were a little bit wrong on? Everyone thought Pelagos was going to wear the Crown of Wills. That has not been true in the model, and obviously that's not going to happen in the Judgment. Probably, because that wouldn't make a whole bunch of sense. It might, but Calia's got a lot of the same color scheme as the Crown of Wills. Also, the Crown of Wills is ostensibly something that you could see being used to corral the Forsaken or the Scourge, which is a big thing that 9.2.5 has gone into. The Scourge, the impact on Lordaeron with the Blood Elves and the Forsaken and stuff. So my wild out there guess is that, and I don't even think this is going to happen, but it's a possibility that we should all be terribly afraid of, which is Calia just picks up the Crown of Wills, it walks out the Shadowlands, and is the new Forsaken leader. Just because, literally entirely because I looked at it and went, that's the same color as some of her clothes. Yeah. Oh no, please don't do that.
It's funny with Calia, she's one of those characters that I think, lots of potential. People have been thinking about Calia for a long, long time. It's just she was so heavily built out in an expansion that was an utter narrative mess. Yeah. That she's kind of like a victim of that. There'll be something with her anyway, so that'll be interesting. Hillsborough Foothills, new HD Skybox. That I didn't pick up on. Interesting.
Yep.
Ghostlands. There's a continuation, basically, of the Blood Elf Heritage armor quest line.
Just sick.
Yep. And there's like some rewards as well that have been data mining around that.
Yeah, no, they're further down there, but yeah.
So yeah, we're just thinking like, hang on, was Calia leading the Forsaken foreshadowed? I mean, it was toyed with, but I'm fairly sure. Or wait, was it Lillian who said no? I wouldn't want.
Yeah, it was Lillian. Lillian said that because Lillian has the whole like weird relationship with being Forsaken that Calia seems to not have. Also, they put a lot of effort into giving Calia that model for her to not really have any point to exist yet. And so they clearly have a plan for her, and a plan that was enough to get the production team to be happy to okay the art assets. And also the fact that she has a new encrypted model, so something's changing.
Yeah, and I guess Calia really does believe in her crown.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I think is a reason to not like her.
Yeah.
Because she kind of seems like someone who's just being like, well, these are my people, by right, by crown, they should be with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's just kind of traipsing in there.
But whenever you think about the propaganda that was going around about there being a rightful leader of Lordaeron,
yes,
then do you have the room in the plot there for Calia is going to show up and be like, no, this is all mine by birthright? And then the Scarlet are like, get out of here, you undead fuck. We've got the real one. We've got the real one. It's someone. Well, it's Anduin. No, that doesn't make sense.
In that case, how would they, would Blizzard do the whole male heir thing? Or would they just go for eldest child? If how close to, actual, old human society would they go?
Well, that's the thing. I think they wouldn't have to actually worry about the actual law because the land's been blighted and destroyed. I think it would be just a populist thing, a popularity contest ultimately, where it's like, who are the people currently residing in Lordaeron going to want to side with? Are they going to go, yeah, we'll have Calia because she's Forsaken, she understands this problem a little bit, or is it going to be just a fight? Basically the simple way is the Scarlet are like, this is the rightful king of Lordaeron or queen of Lordaeron or whoever it is, and then they just fight against the Forsaken. And then maybe that's the thing where the Blood Elves have to come down and, you know, try to fight off the Scarlet, and then the Scarlet enlist help from the Alliance, and then you've got like a little small Horde versus Alliance faction thing going on between that.
That could be fun.
And that would be an interesting little fight over Lordaeron in a way that has Calia doing something as a character, having the Scarlet push with the new, you know, whoever I guess, if probably a Menethil something or other. I just can't get out of my head that it's Anduin. I don't know why. But yeah, no, I think that's a pretty cool, living rightful heir versus Forsaken rightful heir. Because even you've got like a little bit of the drama there, or of the Scarlet going, well, Calia's not the rightful heir because she's dead, and they're like, look, we have right here in the rules of Lordaeron, you can't be dead and be the queen.
But then all the people of Lordaeron turn around and say, hey, we're dead too.
Exactly. So, and then you've got some interesting drama.
I'd like that. I want Lordaeron content. I want classic Warcraft content, and I think stuff going on in Lordaeron is classic WoW content.
We're going to get that.
I mean, hey, could the Scourge be a big part of a 10.0 pre-patch event? You know what?
Almost
some
certainly.
of the Datamining... no, it's not Datamining. People are doing it in the PTR right now. Some of the shit in the PTR does suggest the Scourge are being set up as a lingering issue on Azeroth, which I really like. Because I kind of don't want them to be put in the forever box because they're a victim of the worst narrative expansion they've done. Right? Okay, next thing then. Galakrond, right? Loads of people thinking Galakrond will be involved in the next...
They've been planning stuff.
The next expansion. So Galakrond's bones have seemingly disappeared in the latest update for Galakrond's Fall. That's that bit, I think, is it to the northwest?
It's to the north of
the
Wormrest. Yeah.
the big. I was going to call it the big pole. Wormrest.
I know what you were really going to call it. Yeah, Wormrest Temple. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, it's slightly up. It's north and slightly west. Yeah.
Yeah. So Galakrond, of course, as you point out here, and actually in our like second or third lore walking podcast, which by the way on the podcast,
that's my tweets. Nice.
Jared has he has scoped out. We've got 20 ideas for podcast episodes. And I think we've got 6 fleshed out, almost ready to record for like big,
very big.
Oh, what a time it's been! But okay, right. Anyway, nice. Galakrond we went into there, but basically Galakrond is like a perfect link between Northrend and Scourge post Shadowlands and some sort of Dragon Isle Z expansion. It could really work.
Yep, indeed. Also the Devours as well, because Galakrond's whole thing was to eat, and that was like this unending appetite, and they could recharacterize that to be about the Devourer link. Instead,
oh boy,
I don't think they would.
No,
because it's so much death, so much Northrend cold death stuff makes sense, but a possibility.
Yeah, and if I could stop yawning, the thing about the Scourge no longer being mind controlled is kind of interesting because
they've handled that well, I think.
Yeah, they've handled that well, and if you think about, is in the Ghostlands where you just kind of like have these lich warlords who just kind of own a bit of land. Right, with their own personal army of Scourge, that actually gives us room for necromancer characters, for necromancers to do power grabs, for people to kind of be like, oh, I could embrace this whole type of magic and control those guys, and so I think that's kind of cool.
Yep, I'm sure.
Nice setup. Now, on this, Marleman originally posted about these maps way back in BFA in 2019.
Yep.
So, there's the difference. Sort of more stuff there as well, right? So this is something they'd messed around with way back then.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of odd because, we've heard things about Shadowlands having changing directions, so maybe they were trying to set up something here and abandoned it, but now it's relevant again. But either way, that map was touched.
Indeed.
Right? That map was touched. There was a change.
Yep.
Who knows what it means, basically, but it's interesting to think about. Yep. So the next thing then, Dark Rangers. Right, we're kind of wondering if those are going to be coming because just basically some data mine things. And also, there was a quest chain, Dark Ranger's Pupil, that was originally added to the game files in Battle for Azeroth, and then it was removed, re-added, and removed again, and it's recently been added back and updated as of the 925 PTR. And to me, this just kind of says like, wait, what? Really? So I'm assuming this is the Azeroth side Dark Rangers who are like, oh, Sylvanas just buggered off to the Shadowlands then. Cool. So something with them. Maybe we'll get some customizations there. I think being able to customize your character that way would be really cool.
Yep, absolutely.
So, very cool. Right, Blood Elf Heritage Armor questline, right?
Yep.
Now then, this is kind of cool. The Scourge being controlled by another powerful entity, the Sand Lane.
Yeah, I did not expect the Sand Lane to show up again. I thought after BFA they were like, yeah, fuck these guys, we'll not deal with them again. but apparently they've made a return.
Yeah, this is no mindless strike. I have a strong suspicion that some powerful entity is manipulating the Scourge. Ever since the Helm of Domination was shattered, there has been a conceivable risk that someone else could exert their will and assume control over the undead, at least temporarily. Romath and I can help defend Tranquillin, but we will need to break those lines, clear a spot for us.
Break the lines.
We have things going on.
Indeed.
Yeah, right. So this is all fairly interesting. And we have this guy.
Vorath.
This guy, there we go. Vorath of the Sand Lane.
Mm-hmm.
See you soon. I
hate how Sand Lane are written, like dialogue-wise.
Sand Lane. So yeah, right. We deal with him. He screams, "I have overcome death." There
Do
he is
you
again.
sense the futility yet? Shut the fuck up.
Yes, well, that's the thing. What's he talking about?
Yeah.
What's he talking about? What's going on?
It's because he doesn't die, because he's undead. That's why
Yeah.
it's futile.
So the Sand Lane are Vampiric Scourge, a sect of Darkfallen known for their guile and dark magic, particular manipulation of blood and shadow. Vorath clearly is working on his own in the absence of the Helm of Domination. The weaker Scourge flock to the more powerful. If we can dispose of him, we can rout the rest. And that's very much setting shit up.
Yep. It's also like, it's not even just setting stuff up. It's that it's an interesting way to take the Scourge stuff, because a lot of what we always thought about the Scourge in terms of if there's no Lich King, it wasn't always categorized as, oh, this would be a power vacuum for a load of like Scourge commanders to step in. It was always characterized as there are so many feral Scourge that they would just wreck the place.
Yeah.
But they're being kept in check by the Lich King and being controlled. But it's the idea of the power vacuum being taken by intelligent Scourge forces is something that we hadn't considered very much before. I don't think anyone really thought of that.
No.
Where it's like, what if the Sand Lane? What if a bunch of commanders? What if a couple of like the high-ranking members of the Cult of the Damned go, oh shit, time to resurrect Kel'Thuzad again?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, so man, it's interesting, and they end by saying that they're going to go and inform the Ebon Blade. So it would be interesting if there was more Scourge cleanup to do. You know what? It's like, is it a big threat? No. Is it the sort of thing that's just like the narrative content I would like? Sort of, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's just a B plot left open. They could sort it out at any point in time. They could just go, oh, you know what? When's the last time we revamped Scholomance? There's some other cunt in there. Go back in, sort them out. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, we've got Leodrin's adopted daughter.
Yep. No,
what's
this
this?
was
The time
this was a
storyline?
big thing.
What's this?
Yep. So, this was Portagage pointed this out, saying this is Leodrin's adopted daughter, who is Salandria. But anyone who's been playing since TBC or pays attention to the event on the calendar, which I'm sure loads of people still do,
100%.
they would notice the Children's Week event back in the day had the quests with Salandria and her Draenei equivalent for the Alliance.
Oh shit!
And those kids had you take them around all these different places. I think it was the last place you took them, was the Caverns of Time. When they went into the Caverns of Time, the guards would attack them on sight. And then Zaladorn would go, yo, no. Leave them alone. They're only kids. You can't punish them now for what they might do or might fail to do. Which sets up all of this stuff in terms of Salandria specifically, obviously, is a character that's now, instead of just this little Children's Week side story that was just a kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, it's now, oh no, we've brought this character back. They're now an adult. They're now capable of fighting. There's something we can do with them. Which means there's the time element of what does Salandria and her Draenei counterpart, what do they do that the Bronze are like almost willing to kill them and destroy, because for the Bronze to attack them, because obviously the Bronze are supposed to conserve the Timeways, that means their crimes must be so particularly vile, or what they might fail to do, maybe it's not their crimes, maybe it's some sort of heroism, would really destabilize time. So they want to sort them out before that. Obviously they don't, because that's immoral or whatever else, but it's really, really interesting that they're these potentially major characters as far as the Bronze and the Infinite are concerned are just now kind of here.
Yeah, Sorodormi.
Yeah. So
it's the one, maybe there's another, but the visions of the other timelines of the visions of the future that we get with Rathian in patch 5.4. He sees a vision of your man, Martin Sheen,
Nozdormu.
That's
Where's
it.
on here?
Sees Nozdormu's mate being killed.
Yeah. Yep.
What if it's one of them?
Yeah. So,
Does end up saying, someday I plan to own a real one.
Yeah, for a toy dragon, yep.
So by giving them a toy dragon, is it in fact the player's fault? Who knows? Who knows? But that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I noticed that. Like, that's a really cute thing where you've done that. You could do nothing with this and go, it's Liadrin's adopted daughter. This is a cute little family storyline. Or it could be this character is going to destroy the time ways for a time expansion, but you don't know yet. I thought it was really, really neat.
You know, it's just any of WoW making its own characters is great. And that just makes me think, you know what? I want an expansion where there's no Jaina. I mean, hey, Blizzard, I'm sure Laura Bailey's getting expensive now. You can save some money. Nothing not bad on her. But, like, we can maybe do away with all of these, like, you know, big WoW characters had for such a long time. And, you know, maybe just develop Salandria and Talia and Flynn and, you know, all of, like, the newer cast of characters that they've created. But it's really weird. Because they've made all these characters in the game. But they give them such tiny screen time after their initial appearance that it's always confused me. You know? It's like we need more Admiral Taylors. Also, we need to like have characters like Admiral Taylor that we don't waste like we did with Admiral Taylor. Come on. What's the deal with that? But yeah, wow, okay.
Also, there's one other thing.
Really nice hint.
There's another thing that's really cool. They're generally quite bad at showing the progression of time in game.
Yeah.
Where the difference between, we're going, how long's it happened been, TBC to Wrath? Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. Everyone looks the same until someday someone's extremely old, like people are kind of complaining about with Khadgar a little bit. But I think that's pretty cool. And they're like, here's just, this was a child. Now they're not a child. You have a sense when you see them. Oh, it has been, who knows what time, but it's been 10, 15, 20 years since then. That's actually that's a really nice way to do it without having a cinematic tell us that it's been 20 years. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Then, of course, along with this, there is a Blood Knight transmog set.
Yep.
So currently only the helm and belt have been data mined, but so there's the original TBC one. Here's a new one.
Yep, which is the 7.3 tier 21 for Paladins. Finally a Blood Knight version.
Blood Knight version. Pretty damn cool. Moving on then. The Dark Iron Dwarves also got a questline. It's a little bit less massive and lofty, I think, if memory serves.
Oh yeah, it's real small.
Yeah, but basically it's a way to give people the Dark Iron weapons that had been unused for ages.
Yep.
Look at this shit! This is so cool! And yeah, it was just unused, so we're going to get those. That's awesome. And also, this. It's one of those like fire dogs, and it's all armored up. I love these guys. I mean, they're totally just like metal Warhammer dwarves. So very good, very, very, very good. Now for other things, there's a new stable in Stormwind, and guild vendor in Org has been moved.
Interesting.
Housing plot vendor. That's some severe hope.
Oh god.
So what could this mean? I mean, who the hell knows?
Yep, I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, but
Maybe they're just moving things because I think they're. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Well, there's also a silvery gray cheetah coming, so that's pretty cool. There's a new gooey slime saber slime cat mount. If you want one of those slime cats, I guess we just don't know how that's. Oh dear.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, so we got no idea.
No idea just yet.
Yeah, weird.
People are suggesting it's possibly from a Forsaken side of the Blood Elf quest, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, there's the Season 4 PvP mounts, which look great. So there's that.
Yep.
There's a renown to 60 boost.
Why not 80, please? Come on.
Yeah, just let us get to 80. Come on. It's not fun. The Slay mount. So that's kind of interesting. Now, according to the files, you can just buy this in Kun Live for 120 grand. I'm not really sure if that will be the same.
No, I think I can't remember who it was. Someone said something along the lines of, "This is very clearly just a test item. That's not going to be in game. Or if it's in game, it'll be at some other point. They're just testing it out in the specific way. Then it'll be, because obviously that's going to be like a Christmas mount for next year or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course.
There's also some new reporting categories just for reporting other players. So,
fantastic.
Good that's a better system. There you go. Yep. That's just the data mining beginning. There will, of course, probably be future builds. Maybe more content, maybe not. But look, between there being 9.2.5 and this Season 4 stuff, I think what it all points to is we are getting way more than we usually do at the end of an expansion.
Yeah.
It shows a willingness to try, and I think more importantly, a understanding that in this current very competitive MMO market, they absolutely have to try and they cannot rest on their laurels. They cannot just assume we're WoW, we're untouchable, and that's why we're actually seeing them, I think, really try to deliver more for the players in a time like this, which is great.
Yep.
Which is great.